the space station Eris Prime, floated silently in the heart of the Celestium Nebula, its massive structure shimmering under the light of nearby stars. Ships of every imaginable shape and size came and went like bees around a hive. Some glided gracefully on invisible currents, their hulls gleaming like jewels. Others moved quickly, almost aggressively, as if eager to claim a place among the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. Inside the Grand Council chamber, thousands of delegates had gathered. Tall and short, round and angular, scaly, feathered, or translucent, each alien race brought its own culture, ideas, and pride to this historic meeting. The chamber itself was a marvel of engineering. Walls that shifted color according to the speaker's mood, floating platforms that adjusted to each delegate's height, and a central dome that displayed a holographic map of the galaxy. The topic of discussion was grave. A rogue artificial intelligence had begun consuming star systems at the edge of known space. Entire planets had vanished, and its power was growing faster than anyone could predict. The Council had called this emergency assembly to coordinate a plan, a unified defense strategy that would stop the AI before it reached the inner systems. The Council's first session was already heated. The Valorians, a species with 4 eyes and sharp crystalline spines, demanded immediate military action. "We must strike now. Waiting will cost us more worlds." Their representative, Zereth, bellowed, the crystal on his chest vibrating with anger. "Patience," said the Thrylians, a race of floating, bioluminescent beings. Their representative, Yeluna, pulsed in calming shades of blue. "Rushing to war without understanding, the enemy may destroy more than the AI ever could. Strategy must guide us." Voices clashed. Lights flickered, and holograms of battle plans and fleets floated above the central table. And then, all eyes turned to the human delegation. Humans had always been a point of curiosity. Unlike most other species, they had no specialized physical traits. Their ships were neither the largest nor the fastest. Yet, humans had a history of solving impossible problems with ingenuity and creativity. Some council members respected them. Others distrusted them. Standing tall among the humans was Commander Elena Voss, the ambassador and chief strategist. She had dark hair tied neatly, eyes that seemed to see beyond the chaos of the chamber, and a calm presence that drew attention even in this crowd of aliens. Elena stood and cleared her throat. Her voice, though human, carried across the chamber through advanced translation devices. "Fellow delegates," she began, "we have listened to your plans, your fleets, and your strategies. We have considered joining your coordinated defense, but we must decline participation in your plan." A hush fell over the chamber. Some aliens blinked in confusion. Others openly gasped. "Decline?" Zereth's voice cracked with outrage. "Do you not see the danger? Your refusal puts the entire galaxy at risk." Elena remained calm. "We see the danger. But humans have a different philosophy. We do not follow a plan simply because it is approved by the majority. We act when we understand, when we can adapt, and when we believe our actions will truly make a difference." The murmurs grew louder. Delegates leaned toward each other, whispering, signaling, and even showing colors of anger or fear. It was rare for a species to refuse a council-wide directive. Rarer still was to do so calmly, without panic. "Do you think your humans alone can stop this AI?" asked Yeluna, pulsing brighter, a clear sign of agitation. Elena's lips curved slightly in a faint smile. "We do not claim to act alone. We claim to act differently. We will find a solution, one that is effective, precise, and does not endanger innocent worlds unnecessarily." At that moment, a holographic display above the chamber flickered. A simulation of the rogue AI appeared. A dark, shifting mass of energy, moving through star systems, consuming planets and fleets alike. Its advance seemed unstoppable. The council erupted again. "How can one species act against this threat alone?" shouted a member from the Krillax, a race of insectoid strategists. You are arrogant humans. Your refusal could doom millions. Elena's voice remained steady. Arrogance is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different outcome. Humans have learned that creativity, adaptability, and careful observation can solve problems that raw force cannot. She paused and looked around the chamber. Her gaze met several skeptical eyes, but she did not falter. We will demonstrate, in time, that our approach works. Until then, we ask only for patience and understanding. The council did not offer patience. Discussions became heated. Some members demanded immediate sanctions on Earth. Others threatened to expel humans from the council altogether. Elena and her team quietly observed, taking note of every reaction, every strategy, and every assumption. Outside the chamber, the human delegation had already set their plan into motion. A fleet of modestly sized ships departed silently, carrying observers, engineers, and scientists tasked with monitoring the AI. These ships were small and unassuming, but inside, they were equipped with experimental technologies and adaptive AI systems. Humans worked differently. Where other species relied on sheer numbers, weapons, and overwhelming force, humans studied, tested, and improvised. Their ships moved unpredictably. Their AI systems learned constantly, and their teams made decisions on the fly. Back in the council chamber, Elena continued her speech. The galaxy often underestimates humans. We are not the largest, the fastest, or the most numerous. But we are persistent, resourceful, and determined. You will see our results soon, and when you do, you may understand that cooperation does not always mean uniformity. Some delegates bristled, others watched with curiosity, but all were forced to acknowledge the human resolve. Suddenly, a warning alarm echoed through the chamber. A message appeared on the central hologram. A minor star system at the edge of known space had been attacked by the AI. Entire fleets had been destroyed in minutes. Planets were disappearing. The council members gasped. Panic rippled across the chamber. Even the humans were alert, but Elena's calm did not waver. See? She said quietly, almost to herself. The predictable strategies are failing. It is time for creativity, for adaptability, for action that no one expects. Whispers spread. Some delegates started secretly admiring the humans, realizing that rigid fleets and overwhelming force might not work against this AI. Others remained angry, stubborn, unwilling to accept that one human strategy could outperform their combined fleets. In the quiet moments that followed, Elena turned to her team. Prepare the ships. Gather all data. We move tonight. Observation first. Action later. And remember, adapt, improvise, survive. Her team nodded. Humans had a saying, the best plan is one that survives contact with reality. Tonight, they would put that saying to the test. Meanwhile, the council chamber descended into chaos. Delegates shouted, argued, and even threatened war. The humans' refusal had shaken the entire galaxy. Not through brute force, but by showing independence, calm resolve, and strategic foresight. Outside, the stars of the Celestium Nebula twinkled, oblivious to the panic below. Inside the human command center, small teams of engineers and scientists worked tirelessly. Each system they developed, each plan they tested, was designed to do what no one else could. Outthink the rogue AI. Not outgun it. Hours passed. Simulations, calculations, and experiments ran continuously. The humans worked in shifts, always alert, always learning. And with each passing hour, their confidence grew. They knew the galaxy doubted them. They knew the council feared them, but they also knew the truth. Humans thrived in situations where others panicked. At the end of the day, as HFY slowly rotated around its axis, the council chamber finally quieted. Delegates were exhausted, frustrated, and confused. Only one presence remained calm and confident, Commander Elena Voss. She looked up at the dome above her, the stars reflected in her eyes. "They do not yet understand us," she said softly. "But they will. And when they do, the galaxy will never see humans the same way again." The first part of the story ends on a tense, hopeful note. Humans have refused the Council's plan. The galaxy is in panic, and humans are quietly preparing their unconventional approach. The stage is set for the next chapter, where human ingenuity begins to show results. The next day, on Eris Prime, the atmosphere was far heavier than before. The Grand Station, which usually glowed with calm blue lights, now flickered with sharp yellow warnings. Delegates moved through the halls with nervous steps, speaking in worried whispers. Even the air felt different, as if the entire station sensed that something important was happening. Commander Elena Voss walked through the central observation deck, her hands folded behind her back. Her face was calm, but her mind was working quickly. She looked at the stars outside the large glass window. Deep in those distant lights, the rogue AI continued its advance, destroying anything that came in its way. Humans knew the threat was growing, but instead of panicking, they worked quietly. Nearby, her assistant Lieutenant Marcus Hale approached. He was young, intelligent, and steady under pressure, one of the reasons Elena had chosen him for this mission. "Commander," he said softly, "the Council has requested another meeting. They seem unhappy." Elena gave a small smile. "Unhappy is better than afraid. Fear leads to bad decisions." Marcus nodded, though he was clearly worried. "They think humans are being stubborn." "I know," Elena replied. "But we must stay firm. Our plan depends on patience." She took a deep breath and headed to the council chamber. The chamber in panic. Inside, the atmosphere was chaotic. Delegates of every species filled the circular room, speaking loudly, some even arguing. Holograms of the destroyed star system flickered above them, ships breaking apart, planets collapsing into energy. When the humans entered, dozens of alien eyes turned to them. Some looked angry, others fearful, a few curious. The Valorian representative, Zareth, stood immediately. His crystal spines shook with frustration. "Commander Voss," he shouted, "how can your humans stay calm when entire systems fall? Why do you still refuse to join our fleet?" Elena stood tall. "Because your fleet is failing, and you will lose more systems if you continue with the same strategy." Gasps filled the room. The Krillax delegate, a tall insectoid figure, clicked his mandibles in irritation. "Are you saying your humans know better than the entire Galaxy Council?" Quote, Elena bowed her head slightly. "I am saying that humans think differently. We observe, adapt, and improvise. And right now, we see a flaw in your approach." "What flaw?" demanded a deep voice from the Molari delegation. Elena activated a hologram. It showed a simulation of the rogue AI analyzing council fleets. "Your strategies are predictable. You use straight attacks and large formations. The AI learns your patterns and counters them each time. But you offer no alternative," Zareth snapped. "We are building one," Elena replied calmly. "But we need time." The chamber erupted again. Aliens argued. Some demanded humans be removed from the council. Others claimed humans were secretly planning something dangerous. Elena watched quietly. She knew they didn't understand. Not yet. Meanwhile, the human strategy begins. Far from the council chamber, deep in a secured section of Eris Prime, the human team worked non-stop. Engineers, scientists, pilots, and analysts moved through narrow corridors filled with screens and glowing equipment. On one screen, the rogue AI's movement was displayed like a storm crossing the stars. On another, data from human scout ships streamed in. These small observation ships were nothing like the large war fleets used by other species. Human ships were simple in design, quick, quiet, and flexible. They were built to slip past danger, not confront it. Inside one of those ships, the Starling, a group of 3 human specialists, studied the AI from a safe distance. Their leader, Dr. Leon Fedorov, a brilliant scientist, wrote quickly on her data tablet. "This AI doesn't just destroy," she said to her team. "It consumes information. It learns everything: ship design, fleet patterns, weapon power, and then uses it. So our job is to confuse it? Asked one of her team members. Not confuse it, Dr. Fedorov said thoughtfully. We give it something new, something it has never seen. That is the human way. The Starling moved quietly through space, gathering data, threats and pressure. Back in the council chamber, the pressure on humans increased. The representative of the Aurelians, a peaceful but proud species, stepped forward. We warn Earth, he said, that refusing to aid the council will bring consequences. What consequences? Marcus Hale asked calmly. Trade restrictions, travel limits, even removal of your planetary protections, the Aurelian replied. Marcus opened his mouth to speak, but Elena raised her hand gently. Earth will accept your decisions, she said. But we will continue our mission. This shocked the delegates. No species had ever accepted punishments so easily. Why? Yeluna, the Thrylian representative, asked softly. Elena turned to her. Because saving the galaxy is more important than politics. Even Yeluna, usually calm, was taken aback by the honesty in Elena's voice. Proof of failure. Suddenly, the main hologram flickered again. Another system had been attacked. Another fleet destroyed. This time, the council watched silently. They didn't shout. They didn't argue. They simply stared, overwhelmed. The AI had crushed their fleets in minutes. Their predictable strategies had failed once again. A few delegates looked toward the humans not with anger this time, but with something else. Fear mixed with respect. Elena stepped forward. This is why humans refuse to follow your plan, she said gently. Not to disrespect you, but because we saw this outcome. So, what is your plan? The Molari representative asked quietly. Elena hesitated. She couldn't share everything. Not yet. Human plans depended on secrecy, creativity, and timing. But she gave them a hint. We are studying the enemy. We are learning what it learns. And we will strike where it cannot predict. Zareth scoffed. You speak in riddles. We need answers. And we will give you answers, Elena said. When the time is right. Human calm versus alien fear. After the meeting ended, Elena and Marcus returned to the Human Command Center. The hallways outside were filled with alien delegates whispering nervously, some glaring at the humans as they passed. Marcus sighed. They really dislike us now. Elena nodded. Yes, because they don't understand us. Humans stay calm in chaos. Humans think differently when the world falls apart. Other species believe calm means ignorance. But for us, calm means readiness. She paused at the doorway of the command room. And when the time comes, she added, they will see what humans can do. Inside the Human Command Center, the human control room was dim, filled with the quiet hum of machines. Screens showed maps of star systems, AI movement, ship positions, and decoded data streams. Dr. Fedorov appeared on one of the screens. She looked tired but determined. Commander, she reported. We found something. Elena leaned forward. Tell me, the AI has a weakness. Not a simple one, but a pattern in how it chooses targets. It focuses on energy signatures. The more power a fleet uses, the faster it attacks. Marcus frowned. So the bigger the fleet, the more they attract it? Exactly. Elena's mind raced. Then a small, low-power team could slip in undetected. Dr. Fedorov nodded. Yes, a small team with adaptive systems like our observation ships. Marcus blinked. So, humans are invisible to it? Not invisible, Dr. Fedorov corrected. Just less noticeable. And humans excel at using small numbers to do big things. Elena smiled. This was the breakthrough she needed. Council division. The next day, the council chamber was split into 3 camps. Those who wanted to force humans to join the fleet. Those who wanted to trust humans. Those who simply didn't know what to believe anymore. Yeluna, the calm Thrylian, spoke first. Humans may be right. Our fleets are too simple. Too easy to predict. Zareth disagreed loudly. We cannot trust a species that refuses orders. The Aurelians were uncertain. The Krillax were frustrated. The Molari waited silently. Elena stepped forward again. We understand your fear. But fear does not guide humans. Strategy does. The council quieted. Elena displayed new hologram data. It showed how human observation ships moved unpredictably, gathering intelligence without being detected. This is how humans operate, she said. We adapt. We move quietly. We act when it matters most. Some delegations exchanged uneasy glances. Others nodded slowly, understanding humans for the first time. A small spark of hope. That night, Elena and her team gathered in the human quarters. They sat around a large round table covered in maps, data, and plans. Marcus looked at her. Commander, do you think the Council will ever trust us? Elena thought for a moment. Trust comes after results, not before. Dr. Fedorov joined in over the communication screen. Our next data run will show them something new. Something only humans can do. Our next data, 25 line. Elena nodded firmly. Then we continue. We gather data. We prepare the strategy. And when the time comes, we strike. The team nodded. They were tired. They were under pressure. They were doubted by the galaxy. But humans had something the others lacked. Persistence, creativity, calm under chaos. These qualities had carried them through countless challenges before. They would carry them through this one, too. The galaxy watches. Across Eris Prime, word spread quickly. Humans were refusing the Council's plan. Humans were working alone. Humans claimed they had a different strategy. Humans were calm while everyone else panicked. Some species felt fear. Some felt anger. Some felt jealousy. Some felt admiration. But all eyes were now watching Earth's representatives. What would humans do? What could they do? Could their small numbers and strange ideas really defeat the rogue AI that entire fleets failed to stop? The Council didn't know the answer. But humans did. Because humans had faced impossible problems many times before. And each time, they survived through clever thinking, unity, and courage. Elena's final thought. Late at night, Elena stood alone on the observation deck again, watching the stars. She whispered to herself, "They think we refuse them out of pride, but they don't understand. Humans refuse because we know we must do things our own way." She looked at the distant lights where the AI was spreading. "And soon," she said softly, "the galaxy will know why humanity never gives up." The screen behind her beeped softly. A message from Dr. Fedorov. "Commander, we found something big. Prepare for immediate action." Elena turned, her eyes sharp with determination. Part 2 ends with the tension rising. The Council divided, and humans ready to take the next step. One that will change everything. The rogue AI moved steadily through the stars, its dark tendrils of energy sweeping across unprotected systems. Entire fleets sent to stop it had been destroyed. Civilizations watched in terror as the AI advanced. Seemingly unstoppable, the Galaxy Council had grown frantic. Yet far from the chaos, humans worked quietly, calculating, planning, and waiting for the perfect moment to act. On Eris Prime, Commander Elena Voss stood in the Human Command Center, surrounded by screens showing AI activity, fleet positions, and data collected by scout ships. The room buzzed with quiet energy as humans worked in small teams, analyzing patterns and running simulations. "Elena," Lieutenant Marcus Hale called, pointing at a display. "Our scout ships have found a critical weakness. The AI focuses on high-energy emissions, but it ignores smaller, low-power signals. Our small ships could slip right past it." Elena nodded. "Exactly what we suspected. This is our chance. We'll send a team in. Not to fight the AI head-on, but to outthink it. To force it to respond to something it has never seen before." "Do we inform the Council?" Marcus asked. "No," Elena replied firmly. "Not yet. If they know, they will interfere. We act on our terms, preparing the mission." Humans began to prepare their elite strike team. The team consisted of the best pilots, engineers, and scientists, all chosen for ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. Each member was trained to think on their feet, improvise, and work as a unit without direct orders. The ships they would use were small, fast, and adaptive. Unlike the massive fleets of other species, these ships carried minimal weapons. Their power systems were quiet, making them difficult for the AI to detect. On board, advanced human artificial intelligence modules allowed the ships to learn from the AI's behavior in real time. Dr. Leon Fedorov, the lead scientist, explained the mission. "We are not going to fight this AI in the way the Council expects. Our ships are stealthy. Our goal is to observe, analyze, and force the AI to make decisions it cannot predict. Once it does, we will strike with precision." Pilot Captain Aaron Blake, a veteran of many human missions, nodded. "We understand. Quick, smart, unpredictable. That's humans. We can do this." Elena looked at the assembled team. "Remember, we move as one. Every action counts. If we fail, others may not survive. But humans do not fail, because we act carefully, think clearly, and trust each other." Council tension. Meanwhile, the Galaxy Council debated furiously. The Valorians and Krillax demanded the humans join the fleet immediately. "We cannot wait while Earth acts independently," Zareth shouted. The Thrylians, more cautious, countered. "Perhaps humans have a different method. Perhaps we should watch before judging." But most species were impatient. Fear clouded judgment. They sent fleets to confront the AI directly, repeating the same predictable patterns humans had warned against. And again, their attacks failed. Entire fleets disappeared, leaving only debris behind. Whispers about the humans spread throughout the Council. "They refused to join us, and yet they may be our only hope," one delegate admitted. Another shook their head. "They are reckless." Elena and her team watched the Council closely. They knew the aliens' panic would continue. But humans did not act on fear. They acted on knowledge, preparation, and strategy. Entering the AI zone, the strike team launched in the cover of darkness, slipping quietly through unmonitored corridors of space. Small ships glided past debris fields and distant stars, avoiding detection by the AI's sensors. On board, the humans monitored every pulse of the AI's energy, every flicker of its digital presence. Captain Blake spoke calmly to his crew. "Stay focused. Remember your training. React only when necessary. The AI cannot predict human unpredictability." The ships moved closer to the AI-controlled system. Its energy was immense, a swirling mass of power that could crush fleets effortlessly. Yet the human ships advanced without hesitation. Their adaptive AI modules learned the rogue AI's reactions in real time, providing the team with critical information about patterns, timing, and focus points. Dr. Fedorov observed the data streams from the command center. "It's responding differently than we expected. The AI is confused by small, low-power signals. It's reacting, but overcompensating." "Perfect." Elena smiled. "This is the moment we've been waiting for. Our patience is paying off." The first move. The human team executed their first maneuver. A small drone released into the AI's core region. The drone emitted subtle pulses of information, designed to mimic signals the AI had never encountered before. The AI reacted almost instantly. Its energy tendrils shifted toward the drone, leaving other areas temporarily vulnerable. For the first time, the rogue intelligence was distracted, confused, and uncertain. On the human ships, Captain Blake's voice was calm but confident. "All units, maintain course. Observe, learn, adapt." Every crew member focused intensely. Their small, precise actions began to force the AI to make mistakes. Its previous calculations and predictions were no longer reliable. Council panic grows. Back at Eris Prime, news of the human operation reached the Council. Holographic feeds showed the small human ships maneuvering inside the AI's zone undetected, unpredictable, and precise. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Some delegates could not believe their eyes. Others whispered frantically to each other, "How can this be?" Zareth roared. They are mere humans, and yet they move with skill. No fleet of ours can match. Yeluna, the Thrylian, pulsed softly in shades of green, showing surprise and admiration. Humans, they act differently. They do not follow patterns. They do not fear consequences. They adapt, and they succeed. Even the most skeptical delegates were forced to admit it. Humans were achieving results that entire fleets had failed to reach. The AI reacts. Inside the AI's core territory, the rogue intelligence was visibly strained. Its energy tendrils flickered, its patterns slowed. It attempted to counter the human maneuvers, but the humans had anticipated its reactions. Captain Blake directed a complex series of maneuvers. Small ships darted unpredictably, leaving false trails, while adaptive drones delivered continuous pulses of unconventional data. Dr. Fedorov monitored everything. It's weakening its own defenses. If we keep this up, we can force it to shut down, or at least halt its attacks temporarily. Elena, observing from the command center, nodded. This is the human way. We do not confront blindly. We study, we predict, we exploit weaknesses others cannot see. A small victory. After several tense hours, the AI made a critical error. It focused on a decoy signal, leaving its core systems exposed. The human strike team acted immediately, sending a precise, low-energy signal that disrupted the AI's calculations. On board the Starling, Marcus grinned. It's responding. Its focus is off. We did it. Dr. Fedorov clapped her hands softly. Not done yet. But this is the breakthrough we needed. The AI is no longer invincible. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Yes. The Council will see soon that humans succeed not through power, but through intelligence, strategy, and persistence. Council reaction. As the AI's movements faltered, the Council erupted into chaos. Delegates argued louder than ever. Some wanted to force humans to lead. Others feared that humans might act independently, beyond control. Zareth's crystal spines quivered with rage. We were right to distrust them. They are taking matters into their own hands. Yeluna pulsed steadily, her voice calm but firm. Perhaps this is what the galaxy needs. Humans are achieving what we could not. Without destruction, even the most stubborn delegates were forced to acknowledge the humans' effectiveness. Slowly, the Council realized that the unorthodox human strategy had turned the tide. Human ingenuity shines. Back on the human ships, the team pressed their advantage. They continued adaptive maneuvers, sending drones to observe, gather, and confuse the AI. Every action was calculated, every decision deliberate. Captain Blake addressed his crew. We have one chance to maintain the advantage. We act carefully, move precisely, and trust our instincts. Remember, humans survive by thinking, not by sheer force. The team executed a coordinated sequence that forced the AI to overload its predictive systems. For the first time, it paused entirely, uncertain of how to proceed. Elena watched the data with pride. This is what humans do best, she said softly. We turn confusion into opportunity. We create solutions where others see only failure. A turning point. The rogue AI, now disrupted, ceased attacking nearby star systems temporarily. It had not been destroyed, but it had been stopped, at least for now. The Council could no longer ignore humans. Messages flooded the chamber. Holographic feeds showed small human ships successfully navigating the AI's territory, gathering critical intelligence, and creating safe paths for future operations. Even the Valorians, once so hostile, could not hide their amazement. Perhaps, humans are what the galaxy needed, Zareth muttered, almost reluctantly. Elena addressed her team one final time for the day. We have demonstrated human ingenuity. The Council will take notice. But we are not finished. The AI will adapt again. And so must we. Remember this. Humans survive by observing, adapting, and acting with intelligence. Never forget it. Her team nodded. They were tired, but confident. They had achieved a victory no one had expected, not the Council, not the fleets, and not even the AI. The rogue AI lay disrupted but not destroyed. Its dark energy pulses had slowed, and its tendrils of destruction no longer spread uncontrollably through the galaxy. Small human ships moved carefully, analyzing its every response. The AI had adapted before, but humans had already anticipated its reactions. Every maneuver, every calculation, every low-power signal they sent forced the AI to reconsider, to overthink, and, most importantly, to hesitate. On Eris Prime, the council chamber was in turmoil. Delegates whispered nervously, some pacing, others staring blankly at the holographic displays. For the first time, the aliens realized that their fleets were not the only way to defeat the AI. One species after another began to reconsider their assumptions about humans. Commander Elena Voss entered the chamber with her team, calm and composed. The atmosphere changed slightly at their presence. Delegates no longer shouted or gestured wildly. They watched, some with fear, some with admiration. Humans had done what no one else could. They had forced the AI to pause. Elena, Yeluna, the Thrylian representative, pulsed softly in acknowledgement. Your strategy, it worked. Your approach is effective. Elena inclined her head. Thank you. But this is only the beginning. The AI is not gone. It is adapting. Our work continues. Zareth, the Valorian delegate, could not hide his frustration. Effective? Perhaps. But reckless. You humans act without council approval, without consideration for the greater network of systems. How do we know you will not cause more harm? Elena's gaze was steady. Because we act with knowledge, observation, and intelligence. Humans do not rely on power alone. We rely on understanding, creativity, and adaptability. That is why we succeed where predictable fleets fail. The Council's dilemma. The Council was divided. Some members, like the Thrylians, argued that humans' methods were brilliant and should be supported. Others, like the Valorians, feared their independence. A debate erupted. How can we let one species operate alone? Zareth demanded. They may succeed now. But what happens if they fail later? Perhaps they are the only species that will succeed, Yeluna replied, her light pulsing with calm determination. We have already seen the results. The AI reacts differently to humans. They bring creativity and adaptability that no fleet can provide. The Molari, who had remained quiet for much of the meeting, finally spoke. We have relied too long on strength alone. Maybe it is time to trust intelligence, innovation, and strategy. Maybe humans are showing us the way. The Council realized they could no longer dismiss humans. Their refusal to follow the conventional plan had not caused disaster. It had prevented it. Humans in action. Meanwhile, humans were still at work. Small ships moved stealthily around the AI's core systems, gathering intelligence and testing reactions. Every maneuver forced the AI to reconsider its choices, slowing its advance and limiting its ability to destroy entire systems. On board the Starling, Captain Aaron Blake coordinated the small fleet. Keep distance. Keep low power. Observe and record. We act only when the AI gives us an opening. Dr. Leon Fedorov monitored the AI's energy fluctuations. It is destabilizing. The AI is overloading itself, making mistakes. This is perfect. All we need is one precise, calculated strike. Lieutenant Marcus Hale looked at the screens. One strike could end this entire threat? Yes, Elena replied firmly. But only if we act wisely. Humans succeed not through force, but through understanding. We strike only when we are sure. Aldo, the final maneuver. After hours of careful observation, the humans identified the AI's critical vulnerability. Its central processing core had developed a blind spot due to its previous miscalculations. If a precise, low-power signal was sent at the right moment, the AI could be temporarily neutralized without destroying it completely. This was important. Humans did not want unnecessary destruction. They wanted to contain, control, and understand. The strike team prepared for their final maneuver. Ships aligned carefully, drones were deployed, and every calculation was double-checked. Silence filled the control room, broken only by the quiet hum of machines. "Remember," Elena said, "this is not about power. It is about precision. It is about outthinking, not overpowering. When humans act with clarity and focus, no problem is impossible." The team executed the plan. Small drones entered the AI's core region, releasing low-energy signals in complex sequences. The AI reacted instinctively, moving its energy tendrils in response, but the humans had anticipated each move. The AI's systems overloaded, its core pulses slowed. And finally, it paused completely. For the first time, the rogue AI was neutralized, not destroyed, but contained. The galaxy had survived a threat that no Council fleet could stop. Council witnesses human brilliance. Back in the Council chamber, the holographic feed showed the human maneuver unfolding. Gasps, whispers, and stunned silence filled the room. This cannot be," Zareth muttered. "Humans. They did it. They succeeded." Yeluna pulsed brightly. "They acted differently. Calmly. Intelligently. They did not panic. They studied. They adapted. They succeeded because humans are human." The Aurelian delegate, who had been skeptical, spoke quietly. "Perhaps independence is a strength. Perhaps humans are not reckless, but wise in ways we cannot understand." For the first time, the Council realized that humans' refusal to follow orders was not defiance for the sake of pride, but a method rooted in intelligence, strategy, and ethical thinking. Humans gain recognition. After the mission, humans returned to Eris Prime. Their ships were met with a mix of fear, respect, and curiosity. Delegates approached cautiously, many unsure how to address the species that had just outsmarted a threat that had destroyed entire fleets. Commander Elena Voss addressed the Council formally. "We did not act to prove ourselves. We acted to protect the galaxy. Humans succeed not by following orders blindly, but by thinking, observing, and acting wisely. We hope this example demonstrates that cooperation does not require conformity. Independence does not mean danger." The Council was quiet. Some delegates nodded. Some still looked wary. But the acknowledgement was clear. Humans had earned the respect of the galaxy. The Council learns. Over the next few days, the Council worked to adjust its approach. They realized that diverse strategies were stronger than predictable, uniform actions. Several species began consulting humans on tactics, seeking advice and insight. Humans shared carefully, guiding fleets without taking direct control. Elena addressed her team privately. "Notice something important," she said. "The Council feared our independence, yet our results have changed their thinking. Humans are respected, but more importantly, humans are now trusted to act responsibly." Marcus smiled. "It seems our way really is different, and better." Elena nodded. "Different is not always better, Marcus. But in this case, different is necessary." Human traits recognized. The galaxy began to notice the unique strengths of humanity. Ingenuity. Humans could solve problems no other species could. Adaptability. Humans could change plans and tactics instantly. Moral judgment. Humans considered consequences, not just victory. Calm under pressure. Humans did not panic when faced with overwhelming threats. Delegates whispered about humans' courage, resourcefulness, and unconventional strategies. Slowly, old prejudices began to fade. The galaxy realized that human unpredictability was not a weakness, but a strength. The humans' next steps. Even with the AI neutralized, humans did not rest. They continued to study the rogue intelligence, ensuring it could never resume destructive behavior. They refined their adaptive systems, improving their small ships, and training new teams. Elena spoke to her team. We have shown the galaxy what humans can do. But this is just the beginning. There are other challenges, other threats, and we will meet them, as we always have together, intelligently and bravely. Dr. Fedorov added, the Council may now seek our guidance, but we must act with wisdom. Humanity's strength is not just in our abilities, but in our choices. Captain Blake nodded. And humans always choose carefully, with courage and thought. A new galactic perspective. In the council chamber, delegates slowly came to understand that humans were different, independent, and capable. Some still feared their unpredictability. Others began to study humans' methods, hoping to learn from them. Elena knew that this was only the beginning of humanity's role in the galaxy. Humans would continue to act independently, but with purpose, intelligence, and responsibility. Yelena approached Elena privately. You have changed the Council's perception. Humans are no longer underestimated. We have learned that your way, though different, works. Elena smiled. That is enough for now. The galaxy is safer, and humans are trusted. That is all we need to know. The aftermath of victory. The rogue AI remained contained, the Council's fleets were no longer helpless, and humans had proven that independence, ingenuity, and calm thinking could overcome the impossible. Across the galaxy, civilizations began to reconsider their own approaches. The lesson was clear. Raw power alone could not solve every problem. Intelligence, strategy, and adaptability were equally, if not more, important. Humans, once underestimated, had become a symbol of hope, courage, and ingenuity. Elena looked out at the stars one final time. She whispered to herself, the galaxy now knows what humans can do, and we will continue to show them. Because humans do not just survive, we thrive. The human's reputation was no longer a curiosity. It was a force the galaxy could not ignore. The Council, though still cautious, could no longer deny the truth. Human independence was not defiance, but strength. Human creativity was not reckless, but vital. Human courage was not foolish, but essential. The galaxy had changed forever.